Right, we've done the saloon, time for the touring. Does its extra 100 kilos in weight ruin the performance? And most importantly, the fun? Time to find out. My name's Tom, and you're watching Paragon Cars. Let's go. First then, performance. Of course we have the same 3-litre inline 6 as the saloon, with 374 horsepower and 500 Nm of torque. Let's see how the extra 100 kilos affects the 30 to 70 time. Scores on the doors then, and we were only 0.04 seconds off of the saloon. However, having said that, this touring is a slightly newer model, which means it has the full MHT, otherwise known as mild hybrid technology system, which gives you a little extra boost on full acceleration, so that's probably making up for the difference in weight. Now, the interior. We know the front of the cabin is great. In fact, it's one of the best interiors out there at the minute. But the rear, of course, is where the touring really shines. Not only is there very much adequate room and amenities for anyone 6 foot and under in the back, the boot, oh the boot, this is a masterclass in design. We have a smaller opening for shopping hooks, 12-volt sockets, nettage, snap-release parcel shelf, underfloor storage with boot floor holder, and most importantly, storage for not only your parcel shelf, but also your dog net. And to top it all off, electronically releasable seats that don't get stuck on the way down. Now that is how you do boots. Literal perfection. Does that perfection translate into the driving experience though? Let's find out. Back in another BMW M340i then, this time the touring, and it's going to be interesting to see how it performs compared to the saloon actually. We've got adaptive dampers just like we did have in the saloon as well, and already it feels a little bit softer to me. Now I don't know if that's because it's 100 kilos heavier, so the dampers are just having to deal with more mass and allowing the body to move more, or if BMW has done something different with this car. To me, it feels like they have actually done something different. It just feels a little bit more subdued. Whether that's going to make it feel less sporty later though, we'll find out. But for now, driving around town, steering is nice and light, throttle pedal, brake pedal, easy to modulate, seats unbelievably comfortable, and the rest of the car is brilliant. The interior looks lovely, and everything is solid, nothing creaks or rattles. It really is the perfect daily driver, to be fair. In terms of parking this thing, funnily enough, visibility, I don't know, to me it just doesn't seem as good as the saloon. I don't know if it's because we're missing a panoramic roof or something, but it just feels like a darker car to be in. There's just more roof above your head, but it is still a 3 Series, so unlike the 5 Series, you can get into a London-sized parking space. Plenty of steering angle, lines telling us where we're going to go. On higher spec models like this one, you get a overhead camera as well. And one thing I love about this system is these little rectangles that come up, and then you transition to this overhead view as well. It just means parking at night is so easy. It means you can see bollards and stuff that you wouldn't necessarily see at your rear view mirror. Then getting out, you can always get to the first notch on the door, because it's a 3 Series, not a 5 Series. And just listen to that. That is solid. That is quality right there. Then we have a wide angle front camera as well, so if you're coming out of a junction you can see down the road, which is a really neat feature. And then this car has park assist and reverse assist, but I've demoed that before. In fact, if you want to see me demoing that in another video, I'll put a link in the top right hand corner where you can go and see the saloon version of this car where I demo the park assist function. But yeah, it's something that I'm not going to use, to be honest. Now, this one is fitted with the mild hybrid system, which, don't worry, it's not like a plug-in hybrid or anything. It is literally just there to aid getting the engine started in stop-start traffic, and it does a really good job. It also gives you a little bit of a boost when you put your foot down as well, which I shall demonstrate now. So you saw it turn the engine on immediately, and then that B58 and ZF8 speed gearbox come to life. They really do. Also, the X-Drive system helps just put the power down, but my lord, this thing is a missile. You really don't need more power than this. But the one thing I love about this system is that A, it starts the engine very quickly, and B, it's definitely filling in the torque gap low down. The B58 engine, you know, the torque, the 500 Newton meters of torque comes in really soon on this thing, but with that electric motor, it just means you can sit at like 1,000 revs all the time, which is how you get such an economical figure. Anyway, talking about economical figures, we are going to test our MPG today, and we're going to see how much it costs to fill up and how many miles you'll get once you've filled up. So let's reset our individual figure. BMW claim this will do 37 miles per gallon, and yeah, it's a little bit lower than the saloon, but obviously we're a little bit heavier, so that does make sense. But how far will that get you? Well, this thing has a 59 litre fuel tank, and if you do 37 miles per gallon, you'll do 460 miles to a full tank and about 360 odd miles to 3/4 of a tank, which is pretty good, all things considered. Then at £1.45 a litre, this will cost you about 86 quid to fill up. But obviously you're not going to use the whole tank of fuel, are you? You're going to use 3/4 of a tank, and in that case it's about £64. So 64 quid to get you 360 miles. I think that's alright, don't you? It's not crazy expensive, but that's if it does 37 mpg. And yeah, we're testing it in the real world today. So we are going to do 14 miles, which is the average Londoner's commute. It's not the average UK commute. Average UK commute is a little bit longer, but I want to see, like, worst case scenario for this thing. What can it do on an average Londoner's commute? Will it even do above 30? Well, we're going to do a little handling test first, and then we're going to get on the motorway and see what it actually does and see what it's like on the motorway. But first, let's get the traction control off, shall we? Alrighty then, sports mode. We're going to go into Sports Plus, so full stiffness on the dampers. Wow, that makes a difference, crikey. Then sports mode for the gearbox, that will make it hold on to gears for longer and make the gear changes a little bit snappier. And then of course, put traction in sports mode. Now the ESC is still on, so it will help us out a bit, but as I shall demonstrate now, it lets you have just a little bit of fun. Still feels very rear-wheel drive, this thing, but you can feel it kind of just dabs the brakes a bit, but more importantly sends power to the front, so it feels natural. It doesn't feel like the car's holding you back, if you know what I mean. Plus, one thing this car has that is especially rare is adaptive cruise. For some reason this was really rare on BMW 3 Series in the past sort of 4 years, but this one has it, and it just makes sitting in traffic like this bliss, because not only do we have lane assist, as you can see on the dash now, we also have adaptive cruise, which basically just keeps us a safe distance from the car in front. You can adjust the distance, and I'm pretty sure the speed, it'll let you go up to like well over 100 miles an hour with the adaptive cruise on. So if you do go to Germany and do some autobahning, you can still use it there, which is pretty cool. Anyway, let's cut to the motorway and see what this thing's like. Okay, in eco mode, let's see what the response is like coming onto the motorway. So this is worst case scenario, but I'm just going to plant my foot. Took a while to kick down there, but once kicked down, this thing hauls ass. It is properly fast. Once you're on the motorway, road noise is nice and low. Visibility out the side of the car is pretty good, especially if we've got this blind spot monitor as well. And then if you do have the adaptive cruise driver assist stuff as an option, I mean, you're going to use it on the motorway, aren't you? It's like the perfect place to. And oh yeah, it steers to keep you in lane, and yeah, it's great. Anyway, in terms of NVH levels, we are going to actually test the actual interior noise later with a proper decibel meter, but for now let's just see what this thing can do in terms of MPG. Well, once again the B58 proves that it is just the best engine out there. This has done 36 MPG in 14 miles, and remember that's with a little handling test and sitting in traffic and sitting at 70 miles an hour on the M25. It's 1 MPG away from its claimed combined figure. That's the first car we've ever reviewed that has gotten to that. That is mental. Honestly, I'm speechless. I can't believe now it's sitting at 37, which is literally its combined figure. And I think we only did 72.1 decibels on the motorway as well, so nice and quiet as well. Literally the perfect road trip car. So over the course of, a 2-hour road trip, if you sat at 70 miles an hour, you're easily doing over 40 miles per gallon in this thing, like 45 mpg, which for a fundamentally 400 horsepower car is bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. Anyway, let's do some bonkers things now. Get ourselves into Sports Plus and get the traction in Sports as well. I'm going to go for manual gears, I think. Manuel. This thing just... the chassis... It's hard to beat. It really is. And the thing is, when you want to go quickly, you absolutely can as well. Like, if you just want to be serious and put in lap times, it'll let you do that. And if you want to be a hooligan, it'll let you be a little bit of a hooligan. But it's not going to do anything too crazy. And it's so controllable as well. Brakes, stonking brakes on this thing. It's just that response from the engine, man. Let's do a little sound check. Yeah, not bad. I reckon with a res delete it would sound alright-ish. But one of the reasons this feels so responsive is again because of that electric motor. And the keen-eyed amongst you will notice that when you get your foot down, the dash goes blue. That means the electric motor is giving you a little boost in power. So even if you're sitting at about 2,000 revs and planting your foot, you can really feel that electric boost come in. And it means even if you're in the wrong gear, you still get quite a decent punch, to be fair. The mid-range on this engine is just insane. Absolutely insane. It's one of those cars, it's like, the only thing I would do to this is probably just put an aftermarket exhaust on it. Just get a bit more noise out of the B58. Other than that, though, this needs nothing. Doesn't need more power. Just doesn't need anything. Oh, such a fun car to drive. You can drive this thing on the limit and be an absolute amateur. It's so easy. It almost feels like the car's just doing it for you. It's that good. Absolutely bonkers. Anyway, we've done a 30 to 70. Now it's time for a 0 to 60. This is a X-Drive equipped car at the end of the day, so even in the wet, it should put in a fairly good time. Will it be as quick as the saloon though, or will that extra 100 kilos really hamper the performance? Well, it's claimed to do it in 4.3 seconds, so already a little bit off the saloon, but let's see what it actually does.
On the 0 to 60 is where we see the weight disadvantage then. We managed a very good time of 4.62 seconds, but that was unfortunately 0.4 seconds slower than the saloon. Why was the 30 to 70 time so close though? Well, from what I could feel, the launch control felt ever so slightly dialed back in the touring, and my guess is it's done to protect the gearbox from that extra 100 kilos in weight. All in all, still a very fast car though.
Okay then, let's see how this estate car handles a tight, twisty road. Good lord, it takes your breath away, this thing, it's so quick. It's just so much faster than 374 horsepower. Properly pushes you back in the seat. Steering's good, suspension controls the body well, and it stays nice and flat through the corners. It's just so controllable. Okay then, can we hit 60 before the corner on a cold, damp day? Come on, X-Drive, help us out. Oh god, that boost is crazy. Yeah, easily.
easily. Oh, it's such a fun car to drive. How can a freaking 1.8 ton estate car be this nimble? Like, do you really need an M3 at this point? Like, I don't think you do, to be honest. The turn-in is nice and sharp. It corners flat. There is zero complaints about the suspension from my end. It's perfect for UK roads. And in all honesty, this has got loads of power. I mean, it could do with 50 horsepower less, to be honest. And do you know what? The steering's pretty good as well. It doesn't get much better than that, does it? And remember, this is not with the ESC off. The car's still there and it's still helping me out when I need it. It's just allowing me to have a little bit of fun, of which it does very well. Yeah, in my mind, this is the best BMW on sale at the minute. In fact, it's the best car on sale at the minute. You know, it'll do 40 miles per gallon on a long motorway journey. It is sports car-like fun on a B road. Like, I would wake up on a Sunday morning and take this for a drive. It's that good. And then you can get the kids in the back, you can fit 4 adults in it and all their stuff. If you want to go away on a holiday somewhere, I mean, there's zero compromise. And of course it's X-Drive, so come winter, put some winter season tyres on it and you've got a car that will get you through thick and thin. BMW, you've just nailed it with this car. Absolutely nailed it. So yeah, if you're looking for an estate car and you have a fair amount of money, 35 grand plus, that's some good road positioning, isn't it? Dearie me. Anyway, if you've got 35 to 40 grand and you want an estate car, just buy this. Honestly, just buy this. Nothing comes close in terms of comfort, reliability, performance, potential of performance, fun, practicality, and it's still a fairly newish car. You know, you're not buying an old AMG or something for the same kind of money that's going to cost an arm and a leg to repair. Or even like an Audi RS6. I'd rather have this. Even though the RS6 has a V8, I would rather have this. It's a better all-round package because it's a little bit smaller. It means you can drive it in a city. Anyway, as always, if you enjoy content like this, please give us a like, and why not subscribe? As likely you can see more content like this, you can see everything we have for sale, which unfortunately I don't think is going to include this particular car. I think it's going to already be sold by the time this video goes live, because this is a nice one. But there'll be a link down in the description below for our website where you can go and check out everything else we have for sale. And trust me, there's some nice stock at the minute, actually, especially if you like BMWs. But yeah, anyway, my name has been Tom, and you have been watching Paragon Cars. I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.